Hi, good morning everyone. So welcome to the series where I discuss 5 powerful weight loss tips that can help you lose belly fat and it can help you enhance your weight. Now, the first tip today is very important, and it's something that we all know but we don't do enough of. And 1 in every 3 patients that I see every day is doing this wrong. And when we correct this, it has such a powerful impact when it comes to your immunity, your health, and of course, burning belly fat. And the first tip of this whole series is water. Now, you've all heard every nutritionist, every doctor, every possible health magazine telling you the importance of water and why you need to drink water to lose more weight and build a strong immunity. But today I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to take you into the science behind water and some of the latest research that is happening all over Australia and the US. It is called water-induced thermogenesis. Now, what happens is research is showing that when we drink 500 ml of water at a time, now, I don't mean gulping it all down, but you want to finish that 500 ml in about 2 to 3 minutes, which means you're going to chug it down. That has the ability to raise your metabolism by almost 30 to 40%. And 40% of the thermogenic effect comes from your body trying to warm up that 500 ml of water that you just drank. Now, this 30% or 40% of increase in metabolism, this also depends on your body type and how big and how heavy you currently are. It happens within 10 minutes of drinking that water. It's called water-induced thermogenesis. It can burn calories for almost 1 hour post doing that. Now, the amount of calories isn't huge, but it is burning calories. It is making your body a fat-burning machine when you drink 500 ml of water at one point. Now, the whole point behind this is water is usually at a temperature of 22 to 37 degrees. That's the kind of water temperature that our body expects. A lot of people drink cold water thinking that this thermogenic effect will burn more calories by making your body, have to produce more energy to warm up cold water. But I have to tell you right now that drinking cold water shocks your organs and slows down your digestion. It isn't a good idea to keep drinking a lot of cold water throughout the day because it can shock your organs and slow down digestion. So basically, coming back to this particular tip of drinking water, all of you who have been following me right now, you know that I advise that when you wake up in the morning, wake up to a liter of water. A liter of water over over 5 to 10 minutes. Because again, that boosts your metabolic rate in the morning by 30 to 40%. You have a good stool, it helps you detox your liver, it helps you detox your kidney, but forget about that. Today we're talking about belly fat, and it induces thermogenesis. So that's number 1. Number 2, the point that I have is we need to understand that water plays a massive role. There's a connection between your brain and your water. The hypothalamus in your brain is the master gland of your body. The hypothalamus is the interface between your hormones or your endocrine system and your nervous system, which is your neurotransmitters. Now, if there's any drop in water content, it affects your hypothalamus, which affects your hormones, which affects your nervous system. And one of the jobs of your hypothalamus is to regulate appetite and to regulate cravings. So when you have the wrong water balance, your hypothalamus doesn't have control. You have all these cravings that come up. You're actually thirsty, but your body's giving you cravings and you tend to eat more. And then you have a hormonal imbalance, and we all know that burning belly fat is all about having your hormones in the right balance. So you need to understand that water is a solvent. Now, the absorption of water into your system is also important. So what's in your water can either be enabling complete absorption into your system, or it could be a barrier to absorption in your system. So when your water contains a lot of caffeine, when your water contains a lot of minerals, it contains a lot of sugar, it contains a lot of salt, it contains a lot of preservatives. So I'm talking about aerated drinks, I'm talking about all these flavored iced teas, I'm talking about sports drinks like Gatorade and all of these, drinks which are filled with sugar and filled with preservatives and filled with color. Guess what? Since water is a solvent, all of those ingredients block the absorption of water into your system. So you think you're drinking water, but all of that water is not getting absorbed. But water, which is good old plain water, which is rich in minerals, or like adding lemon to water or infused fruits or infused vegetables into water, that adds the mineral content, which improves absorption of the water that you're drinking into your system. And we all know it's all about absorption. So coming back to my next point, you need to understand that water forms the base of all fluids in your body. Be it your blood, be it your fluids, water is the building block of fluids. So if you have less water in your system, just think your hormones, your neurons, they all require a superhighway for conducting themselves throughout your entire body. Between cells, communication between cells is fluid based. If you have even a 1% drop of water in your body, you are impacting billions of cells communicating with each other. You are impacting hormone communication. You are not giving your genes the required information to do its job. And what's the job of your genes, right? Your genes, right? From DNA to instructing your bones to increase density, to detoxifying your organs, to producing more bone marrow, to producing the right amount of lymphocytes and neutrophils and leukocytes, which is nothing but your immune system. It gets compromised when you have less water, because water is the building block of all these fluids. So I use the word information with genes because food and water is not just energy, it's information to your genes. Your genes are expecting not just energy, but information all the time to carry those innumerable reactions and, the functions in your body. And if your genes don't get the right information from the food that you eat in the form of a vitamin or a mineral, or from the water that you drink, you have a problem. And today most diseases, or the inability to lose weight, is the wrong gene in your body expressing itself. We create, this is called epigenetics. We all have good genes, we all have bad genes. And we can blame our parents or our ancestors and say, oh, they were fat, so we are fat, we can't lose weight. They are diabetic, so we are diabetic too. Yes, certain diseases do have a genetic connection, but most of them are within our control. So when we allow our body, we create an environment in our body that allows the bad genes to express itself. That's when we have problems. That's when we struggle to lose weight. That's when we have disease. That's when we're unable to cure diseases or reverse conditions. And those genes express themselves when they don't get the right information they need from the food that you eat and from the water that you drink. So it's very, very important for you to understand right now that water is not just to quench your thirst. And again, when the hypothalamus, which is the master gland of your body, doesn't get what it needs, it is giving us wrong signals all the time. Most of us confuse thirst for hunger. We are thirsty, but we're just not aware of it because we live, mindlessly. We're hungry. No, we're thirsty, but we think we're hungry. So we start eating more and more. Our insulin levels increase because at that point, we're not really physically hungry. We have no requirement for food. So your blood sugar levels rise, and then we get more hungry, and we get more hungry, and we get more hungry. And then we get frustrated, and we get irritable. And because of all those additional calories which the body doesn't require because we're not physically hungry, we put on weight, or we're unable to lose weight. So the next time you are hungry, you think you're hungry, go back and think, when's the last time I had water? Because you could be confusing thirst for hunger. That's extremely important. So now, how do you use this powerful tip to help you lose belly fat? Number one, water-induced thermogenesis. The research shows that 500 ml of water at a time. So I've done this little calculation where if you wake up to 1 liter in the morning, you've got 1 liter of your water already done. 500 ml 30 minutes before your lunch. 500 ml 30 minutes before your dinner. There, you've done 2 liters. Now I would add the third 500 ml before my evening snack at about 4 or 5. So I've got 2.5 liters, and then the water that I sip in throughout the day is probably going to get me up to 3 liters. And depending on my exercise, I'll consume more water. But the whole idea is also to integrate the art of drinking water, which we've already spoken about, with this tip, which is 30 minutes before your meal, you have your 500 ml of water. And then you don't have water during your meal and for 30 minutes post your meal. So post your meal, 30 minutes later, you can have water again. So this improves your digestion again, which also helps you lose weight and helps you burn belly fat. So we integrate the art of drinking water with this 500 ml and the right quantity of water throughout your day. So you can use apps to remind you to drink water. We need to remember that, life keeps throwing us curveballs throughout the day. There's something that suddenly comes up and we forget to drink water. It's real. We think we're drinking sufficient water, but we're not drinking sufficient water. And 1 out of every 3 patients, I see majority of their problem is less water intake. So we can fix that. It's really, really simple to fix that. Keep water with you throughout the day. There should be a bottle with you wherever you go so that you remember to drink water. When it's not there, you forget to drink water. So these are simple tips of how you can make sure that you're drinking the right amount of water. But just to recap very, very quickly, the principle for burning belly fat or increasing your calorie burn is water-induced thermogenesis. 500 ml that you chug down at various intervals in the day. Don't mix it with your food. Don't overdo it on water as well. It's not about overdoing it on water. It's having the right quantity of water that suits your body type, the kind of exercise you do, the kind of country you live in, the temperature, the pressure, all of that, and how much you move in a day. So try this tip out, and I'll be coming up with tip number 2 in the next session. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right.